video, we're going to take a look at When I Dream. This is a game for 4 to 10 players that takes place over the course of several rounds in which you are trying to get a player who is dreaming to guess what their dream is about. There's some interesting little quirks and nuances to this that makes it a whole bunch of fun and something that is attainable for just about anybody in a very short period of time. So let's check out what's in the box. Okay, so inside of When I Dream, what you're going to find is several different components. There are 2 sets of cards, a smaller set and a larger set. You have this board set up with the scoring symbol indicators here. You have a little bed that your larger cards fit in, a series of scoring tokens, and then additionally you have this little sleep mask, right? So in all honesty, I can tell you that several games, if not the majority of them, end up making these scoring tokens almost completely irrelevant. I've had several times that we've pulled this game out and we've played it, and scoring becomes one of the last things on your mind. We'll toss the tokens out, but at the end of the game, everybody just wants to play another round or play another set to try and get their opportunity to guess. The interesting way that this game plays centers around the different role cards. So this smaller set of cards, there's 3 different types. There are fairy cards, there are boogeyman cards, and there are sandman cards. Fairy and boogeyman play pretty straightforward, right? So if you receive one of these roles, you are trying to either, as the fairy, get the individual to guess the correct word. As the boogeyman, you're trying to get them to guess incorrectly. And then as the Sandman, you're trying to get them to balance the amount of right and wrong answers by the time you get to the end of the round. The interesting thing about this, these roles are hidden roles, just like you would have in a social deduction game. And the interesting thing about this adds a little bit of confusion. It adds a little bit of silliness, in particular when someone doesn't know who's telling the truth and who's not. And since you can't see them and read body language and things like that, it definitely adds for a lot of enjoyment for everybody that's playing. The sleep mask is probably self-explanatory. The person who is the dreamer is going to wear that mask. And then the big cards themselves are going to have whatever word it is that's trying to be guessed. The cool thing, these cards are very conceptual. For example, you have planet and you have mug as the 2 words on this individual card, and there is a series of planets and a mug. So it's going to contain both pictures. That's not, crazy helpful whenever you're trying to give clues, but it adds for some flair throughout the game. Now, essentially, you have the scoring piles on each side. As you're giving clues, one-word clues, and people are guessing, so they're going into the right pile or the wrong pile. And then once you get to the end of the round, the dreamer has to try and recall their dream or name basically all of the cards that they got correct. This adds to the complexity a little bit for scoring and other things like that. The traditional old sand timer is what is used for the game. It is not necessarily driven by you have a certain amount of time to guess. Whenever you're guessing, you can do that whenever you would like, and you can wait for as many clues or as few clues as you want. But for the person who is dreaming, there's no indication of whether or not they got the answer correct or incorrect, and so they won't find that out until the end of the round. Some things I really like about this game that make it a little bit different from other things that I've played. The hidden roles component, where not only does the person who's guessing not know the motive of the individuals who are giving them clues, but neither do the other clue givers. I think that adds a pretty interesting element. And then in addition to that, trying to recall the dream. So as a guesser, not only are you trying to guess, but you're also trying to, devise a way to have recall of those items whenever you get to the end of the allotted time. I would say that this is, had become a must for my game group. We pull this out a whole lot. I have kids request this, adults request this to play this game. It becomes a lot of fun. It takes some of the anxiety out of those kind of group games where one person is isolated because everybody's, having a silly experience. Everybody's having some of those moments where they can't think of what to say, or they, say something that's a little bit off. And then it's fun just to explore the different roles. Like you can say wildly incorrect answers, or maybe you try to play the strategic route and give answers that are close enough, but just wrong enough to get them to guess incorrectly. And it's pretty gratifying either way, whether you get the correct answer or the incorrect answer. And then, the really tricky role is balancing the two. I think a mark of a great game like this is the scoring is unimportant, and that became very evident right at the beginning. People just want to play. They're not really super concerned about, exactly who's winning and being ultra competitive. It's just something that's fun. It's kind of a break from really heavy strategy or really heavy, thinking games. So I'd recommend this as, potentially a filler game or something to kind of break up the evening if you have a big game group. If you're a big family gamer, or if you have older kids who are proficient in reading, this would be a great one for that type of group as well. And then if you're just somebody who likes to casually collect, you have some Dixit-esque type illustrations and things on the cards, pretty high quality stuff, tons and tons of tokens. So there's a lot of value there for a bunch of different gamers. If this content is something that you're interested in and something that you enjoy watching, please be sure to give us a like and a subscribe. It really helps to let us know that this is the type of content you like to see so that we can make more of it. Otherwise, we appreciate you being here, and we will see you in the next one. GG.